Hello, I am Dr. Darnita L. Payton, and my purpose is to educate, encourage, and enlighten. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by my channel today. I am so grateful that you are here. Before you leave, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, and do me one favor. Tell at least 5 people you know about my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Today, I am so excited to have one of my dear friends and one of the most brilliant and dapper people that I know on earth to join us today here at our YouTube community, and that is Dr. Scott Hannan. Good morning, Dr. Hannan.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Thank you so much. So I am going to jump right in and let Dr. Hannan tell you a bit about himself. But before I do that, I want to let you know that this is going to be a new series on my channel. We're going to be talking about hoarding disorder, and the people that it affects. So I hope that you will leave your questions and your comments. And if there's something else that you would like for us to discuss, yes, I'm volunteering Dr. Hannan to come back. If there's something that we didn't cover or something that you still have questions about, please let me know in the comment section and we will do our best to do that. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hannan, and you all make sure that you show him some love down in the comment section after viewing this. So Dr. Hannan, tell us a little bit about you, or a lot, whatever you want to give us.
Sure. Well, I'm a clinical psychologist. I work at a psychiatric hospital doing outpatient work. So I work with all ages. I work with children. I work with adolescents. I work with adults. The primary specialty I have is working with anxiety disorders. I work a lot with individuals that have obsessive compulsive disorder. I do a lot of work with children with anxiety. I work with kids with school refusal. And obviously, I've been working with hoarding disorder for quite a long time, since I actually started probably back in graduate school. I started working with hoarding disorder. And I would say I'm really sort of lucky that I got to be in sort of the ground floor of how treatment changed over the years. When I was a postdoctoral fellow is when some of the initial treatment studies using cognitive behavioral therapy were done. And so I was part of those studies that were run by Drs. Tolan, Frost, and Steckity. So it was great to kind of see how we really had to change treatment from what we were doing years ago. This before was even a disorder. So
exactly,
really got to see how it grew in terms of treatment, but also in terms of diagnosis.
Well, wonderful. If you all didn't hear some of those names, Tolan and Frost, a quick Google search will bring up that those are some heavy hitters. And so we have another heavy hitter right here in Dr. Hannan. As you heard, he's been doing this for quite a while. So I am so honored to have him join us today. We've known each other for about 12 years. We actually met while we were doing the television show Hoarders. And if you know anything about life, many friendships don't last 12 minutes. So I am grateful that he still talks to me. He hasn't blocked me on his phone yet. So
I can't figure out how to block, so.
He's brilliant, but technology.
My kid before.
Yeah, exactly. And so I want, my viewers and community to know that if you watched any of my videos, you know how we do things around here. I always tease that I am talking to a computer, so I know to look at the camera, but I have a real live person in front of me. So sometimes I'm going to look down and talk to him. And that's just how we do things here on my channel. We want to, again, make sure that we educate you, but we want to make sure that it's interesting enough and that you leave here enlightened. So again, thank you, Dr. Hannan, for joining us. And I am so excited about this. I can just barely contain myself. And for the new people, I am, again, Dr. Darnita L. Payton. And I'm the owner of Dr. Declutter Life Management in Washington, D.C. And I, too, work with people who have a hoarding disorder, chronic disorganization, clutter, life management, time management. I always say, if you have a life, I help you manage it. And my PhD is in counseling psychology. And again, we met on Hoarder, so we will definitely make sure that we talk about that a little bit as well. That we have some exciting. We had some great times on that show. It was interesting because it was our first time meeting, and it was also our last episode. Yeah. So it was ordained, and it's my co-favorite episode. And I always say co because I have to give my first episode some love because that's how I started. But it is absolutely definitely my 50% favorite episode. So we're gonna jump right in, like I said, and you all know how I do on this channel. I have notes and. Because I like to be prepared. So if I look down, I'm looking at a note. If I'm looking at Dr. Hannan, then I'm looking at Dr. Hannan. So we're going to get started. And I want to let you know, something about me. So you may hear Dr. Hannan say it, and a lot of other people say it, but I rarely call someone who has a hoarding disorder a hoarder, not because it's wrong or anything like that, but in working with many of my clients, they don't like the title of it. And from my perspective, if I think about it, we are identifying the person based on what their disorder is versus the person who's dealing with the disorder. Again, that's neither right nor wrong. I always like to put that out there. So I generally say somebody who has a hoarding disorder or someone who hoards or something like that. But if my clients are okay with being called hoarders, then we roll with that. Again, neither here nor there. I just always like to put that disclaimer out there, because if we think about it, we really identify people who have cancer as cancerers. We do call people who have diabetes diabetics, but we generally say somebody is dealing with or suffering from their disorder versus, that they are that disorder. Again, just my 2 cents. And I always like to put that out there. Now, my second warning, and Dr. Hannan can jump in on this one if he wants to, is do not self-diagnose or go diagnose your husband, wife, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, grandmother after watching these videos by saying, Dr. Hannan said in the video with Dr. Payton that you probably have a hoarding disorder. No, we didn't. We don't want you to do that. And I remember back in school, and I don't know if this was your case, Dr. Hannan, our first professor many, many, many moons ago, back when, we had school and we had to walk 5 miles in the snow and then 10 miles back, that long time ago. My first professor for my undergraduate degree said, first thing, do not self-diagnose yourself based on what you're going to read in your textbooks. And of course, most of us did. And again, don't diagnose other people based on what you're going to read. And of course, we all did. So I don't know if you had that experience when you were first starting out.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely. I think the first psychology class you take, they tell you do not diagnose yourself, because it's so easy to. I mean,
right.
Understanding the criteria, if you don't understand it, anything can fit. So you look at something like hoarding disorder, lots of people have clutter. Lots of people are going to have a closet that's full and that's not organized, or we've got a junk drawer.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean you have hoarding disorder.
Exactly. And see how he jumped in that's why I adore him. He jumped right in and told you why you shouldn't do it, because again, you can easily find yourself in any criteria, and don't do that. And I'm going to warn you again. And if you have that junk drawer, I'm coming for you.
You gotta have one junk drawer, right? That's okay.
We call it the miscellaneous drawer.
There you go.
No, I know, Doctor. He's on it. All right, so we're gonna now that we have the warning out of the way. So thank you again for taking the time to stop by my channel. And before you leave, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification. Do me one other favor, tell at least 5 people you know about my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if no one has told you today how awesome you are, I want you to know that you are absolutely, positively awesome. Take care. God bless. Bye.